But it's, again, just tells the story of it's the evil and the ugliness of people's hearts these days is everywhere.
This is Franky Rose's Think Tank. Here's your host, Franky Rose.
Hey guys, welcome to the Think Tank. So we've only got a couple more minutes left with today's session. Looks like maybe 20 at the most. So let's do this. I'm going to finish setting it up in the back and we're good.
He's got some specific objections, and I'm going to articulate to the court my understanding of what the defendant is trying to do. The one video the defendant wants to play, his assertion is he's going to impeach the witness. He says she testified that Travis Johnson gave corroborating evidence about what was happening, about him being involved in the crime.
Corroborating evidence about Mr. Tucker being involved in
the crime. Mr. Tucker's assertion is that she's going to be impeached because on the video, back when Travis Johnson gave a statement in 2017, after he gave his statement, which implicated this defendant, after that statement, they asked him to watch the videos. He watched the videos and he said, I cannot ID this defendant in the video. That does not mean she was lying about having corroborating evidence. He's very conveniently omitting the 90-minute interview he gave that he articulated very concisely that this defendant was involved in the planning and the execution of the crime. Now he wants to impeach her with the portion of that statement at the end where after he gave an oral statement, they said, okay, now that you give that and we believe you, we think you're credible, we'd like you to look at these videos. And they ask him to look at the videos, and he looks at the video and he's like, yeah, I think that might be my truck, but the headlights look a little different, and I can't say if that's Ty or not. That doesn't mean that she didn't have corroborating evidence. She did have corroborating evidence, but the video itself was not. And she kept saying today in her testimony, I know who that was in the truck based on Travis Johnson's testimony. Travis Johnson's testimony articulated that he drove them over there, they got out of the truck and went to the treehouse. But she never said that she could ID him in the video. She actually said this morning, I can't even see who the driver is. And I can't make out the faces of the people who got out of the truck. So where's the impeachment here?
Well, let's hear what Mr. Tucker has to say.
Your Honor, I don't care if she gave 90 minutes worth of, other statements, other corroborating, again, where he corroborated his whole story. His whole story could corroborate everything except to when he gets to the point where he says something different. When he actually changes his story, that's when it becomes a problem, and yes, she was there, right there, reviewing the tapes with him when he says something different. So it's not corroborated. So it wasn't corroborated.
What difference did he say?
He said he couldn't see if it was his truck. He couldn't tell who either individual was in the video, and that, again, he couldn't identify that or corroborate that as the video of the incident.
You're taking her testimony you're viewing it too narrowly. She's talking about the totality of what he told her, not one specific instance. So that's not, in my view, admissible impeachment.
No, I know. And again, this is one of a few different videos and audios, and we were just having a discussion about this. The problem, from what I understand, is that they don't want the entire the entire section or the entire video played just for the section where I'm using it for impeachment. Again, very simple one is the IA tape that I was going to play, the one that's still downloading. That one, yeah, she specifically says.
I thought we were talking about this one here.
Well, I mean, yes, we've talked about all of them, Your Honor. That's, we were talking about all of them.
I know, but I'm focusing on the one objection that's now
Okay,
before me.
the objection to that specific video. Okay, again, I gave you my argument. Basically, look, she asked him to identify what's in that video. He cannot. Which again,
you can certainly cross-examine Mr. Johnson, but the way I construed her testimony was, and first of all, frankly, I've been extremely liberal in my view, because a lot of this questioning of her arguably isn't even admissible, because what her opinion is and what her conclusions are really aren't the issue. But nevertheless, I've given great leeway to attempt to impeach her by suggesting at one point that Johnson couldn't ID who was in that vehicle. She was talking about the totality
of his statement.
So I'm going to sustain the state's objections.
Okay. Other impeachment videos. We were talking specifically about a hot mic video that they're aware of. They're aware, they've seen it. I've seen it. Where again, Danielle Malone said multiple times up on the stand today that they didn't know I wasn't a suspect at the time they did the raid on the warehouse, right? She specifically said that, right? I still wasn't a suspect, right? This video, again, you can only get audio from it. You couldn't get the video from it, just the audio. But the audio, yes, she knew I was considered a suspect long before that raid ever happened. She was there when I was named a suspect.
I'm just concerned, excuse me, Mr. Mansfield, I'm just concerned. I've got a jury waiting out here.
I know.
And it feels like this is a matter that is just can balloon here, and I'm not sure that we're not going to have more discussions. So
You're on.
ideally, like all this stuff ideally should have been ironed out ahead of time, but
He's argumentative today.
Well, Your Honor, if I may.
yes, sir.
I agree with you totally. It's, my problems with doing it earlier today is, again, it was a technical problem because, okay, I have the things on my computer or on whatever drive I have them on. Getting them onto the screen is a different story. The other thing is reviewing these things so the state is okay with whatever I'm putting up there.
He has claimed he's innocent for
I'd
years.
like to offer the state the opportunity.
And even the surviving witness, Paula, says he was not there. So it's interesting. Hello, Mexi. I'm all over the place today.
There are many names that are bandied about. There are people of interest.
Oh, he is dandy.
At what point this defendant became an identifiable suspect, I don't know. It sounds like he's got a portion where she says, I don't know if she's calling him a suspect or
He
something.
argues like he overspeaks and he interrupts, and it's like, whoa.
We do need to listen to that. He refers to this hot mic. I'm familiar with the hot mic scenario. I don't know what portion he's trying to use. He said it's still down. So I would tell Your Honor, maybe we should send the jury home for the day.
So it's just a short little piece here, and then they're done again till
I
tomorrow.
don't see much alternative, quite frankly. And again, I'm not here to point fingers or assign blame, but normally the reciprocal discovery, the defense would say, listen, we got this, and this.
Oh, that's a really good question.
Redacted in the event that there's
That's a really good
questions that require
question.
redacting, and
I don't know
the judge
what
will be
to
called
think
upon
right now.
to make these sorts of decisions.
How about
once
you?
The respective sides had done what they could to narrow the issues. Whatever reason, we don't find ourselves in that posture, and I'm concerned that we're going to be going back and forth here. So I don't know how many more of these things, Mr. Tucker, you have lined up, but
There's a few, Your Honor, and to be honest,
How you
I
doing,
agree with
Perry?
The prosecution, I think that is the best solution, is that we can send the jury home and we take a look at these things, so that way we don't run into these issues. And I will go ahead and make sure any any further impeachment materials, I'll make sure that they see long before we ever get there.
Okay, I don't see much alternative. I guess when I allotted the amount of time I did, it kind of factored in these potential
Yeah.
delays.
I mean,
So
some of the
big
interviews I've seen
picture,
him do,
I said the
I think,
amount of time
oh,
allotted
maybe he's
factored in
innocent.
some of this stuff. So
And then
just
there's
put
other
that
times where I'm
if
thinking,
I'm-
I don't know.
the
I
pay
don't
me now or
know.
pay me later scenario whereby saying, okay, hey, the jurors breathe a sigh of relief, they go home early.
He gets
but then
so
Friday the
irritated.
2nd, they're sitting here at midnight. I don't want that, but I don't think we're at that point.
That's right.
He gets so irritated.
Okay, so when are we going to ask him to be here on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Well,
Next court date is
full day, I don't-
Tuesday, long
I mean, we have-
weekend.
So like maybe the 9 o'clock, and we'll get here at 9 or have them here 9:15 and we'll get started.
You all be here at 9,
We can work
9:15
Yes,
for the jurors, and
Yes.
of course, I'll be
So that was really short.
available to
Just
help.
like the car chase.
We need some courtroom.
Check it out. We just stopped for a minute.
All right. Okay, let's bring them in.
We just watched a fast car chase. There was a M suspect on the run. Look at how frustrated he gets. MLK Day. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Look at how pissy he gets, guys. Like you can just see the irritation all over his face, shaking his head. He needs a lawyer. Yeah.
Thank you. Welcome back. Please be seated, everyone.
Temper, temper.
So, you must be wondering, what's going on, Judge? He told us to come back from lunch, and here we are, and we've been basically hurry up and wait. I can't tell you what's going on. So that's the short answer. What I can tell you is I have it well in hand, and that we're going to break early today. Something has come up, and what I foresee is that in the long run, we're far better dealing with it now between Mr. Tucker, the lawyers, and myself, rather than keep on shuttling you.
It
folks
is,
back and
Perry.
forth. Not to worry. We're still on schedule. That schedule that I gave you at the very beginning, we're still well within those parameters. So I'm sorry for any inconvenience that you've had to suffer this afternoon. But again, not to worry. Everything is
Getting fed up.
normal. It's all part of the trial process. And I think the best way to handle it is to wish you a good weekend, 9/15 Tuesday. And we expect that you'll be presented with more testimony at that time. So remember the instructions, follow them diligently, vigilantly. Have a great 3-day weekend, and see you on Tuesday at 9:15. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, see you all on Tuesday morning. Here's the door. That means jurors are gone. So my expectation is that you all are going to have the opportunity. What these impeachment materials are, you're going to assess them. If there are any specific objections, you can have them lined up. If they're not, so much the better. But if there are, I'll make a decision, and hopefully we can have stage set, so to speak, for
Can't hear him.
reconvene with the jury.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. One other thing, just for clarification. I know we discussed the technical aspects of getting Paula on Zoom, and you mentioned how we swear in. Would we swear in via Zoom, or do I need to find somebody who would do that
So yeah, Paula's
on site?
I'm willing to swear her in, or if there's, as long as there's no objection. I mean, I'm assuming that everybody knows who she is. She's not a surprise witness, and so I'm able to administer an oath remotely. So if that satisfies yourself and the state,
We have no objection to that, Judge.
Just doing logistics, Judge.
We would, however, I would ask the court if it's okay to send one of my investigators out to be in the room while she's testifying, because I'd like to know who else is in.
me either.
Make sure there's not somebody sitting off camera.
Yeah, she could be a game changer.
Proper. So I would like to have a witness in that room.
She's sick, I guess, like really sick.
is there any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay,
Very well.
Of course, Mr. Tucker can have somebody in the room also. Mr. Alvarez raised the question about showing exhibits and the like. Again, I'm not going to be up here operating the Zoom. You all are going to be doing that. There's ways to do that, but it's.
You're right. We're good, Judge. We're good because we will have our IT guy here that will help us do what we need.
There's a term for it where screen and screen.
I wish we could hear them better. Him, the judge.
There you go. So,
Judge, just along those lines, one last issue. I know the court inquired yesterday about the email.
You
that
notice
forwarded to your
the
office, and
state,
that
they
was
won't even look at him.
requesting-
They turn their
I think you were
back
requesting
to
more
him
accurate
and
information with respect to Ms. Belmonte's condition.
And
it's true. I assume that Mr. Tucker premised his question on the fact that he believed he could get that information that would basically establish that she's simply medically unavailable. But yeah, we're
yes, sir, Your Honor.
haven't withdrawn that request, but I think his question's based upon the premise that that can be obtained and then going on in anticipation.
oh, I never really noticed the carpet. Oh, and the doors.
Have somebody present.
It's beautiful.
to monitor, observe. So can the
If you like lime green.
in their event that people want to use share screen.
I don't know what this man's saying. Not even a little bit.
We'll provide the screen and the reception here. Otherwise, I guess you know what your mission is in
Yes,
terms
sir.
of this afternoon. So the deputies will let me know if and when you need me.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So basically after lunch,
all right.
after lunch, they did nothing. And then they just did this little bit that we seen, and they are packing up for the weekend. They're out of here. They are out of here. Yeah, that's all I heard was just like mumbling. So it was like, okay, well, I guess we'll find out more Tuesday. So happy long weekend, everybody. Do you have a long weekend too, Perry? We don't. Okay, guys, you have a wonderful long weekend. I'm going to go take a peek at the second half of the Jennifer Dulos case and set up a stream for that for later on. So don't forget to hit that notification. Give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please do. Oh, you still got to work, Mexi. So what does that mean? It's not a stat? Oh, and Dandy's going to Hot Springs. Nice. Nice. Well, we are sitting at a balmy minus 30 Celsius right now. So until that changes, I'm probably going to avoid going anywhere. Okay, guys. Thanks again. I appreciate you. Bye.